Hi, everyone. My name is Nick Vlahos, and I'm a postdoctoral fellow at the Center for Deliberative Democracy and Global Governance at the University of Canberra. I'm also one of the course conveners of this unit, currently calling you from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which is my hometown. I was hoping that Drake might jump on for a little cameo, but Champagne Poppy has other things to do right now. Anyways, my research interests are interdisciplinary. For the past several years, I've been really focusing on one large project, which was a book that I released last year. But a lot of these interests carry forward, which is the connection between politics, social mobilization, and the economy in the context of a capitalist system, and the different relationship and why social mobilization arises because of really challenging economic context, and what that means for politics in terms of the types of decision making that arise or respond to the types of mobilization below, and whether or not ultimately forms of decentralization might lead to better decision making or empowered and enhanced decision making by the public. This does connect to my other interest of local community mobilization, which I'm really interested in how communities come together to establish community governance mechanisms that might address power inequalities, or by establishing different forms of locally owned forms of decision making mechanisms, whether that's through food cooperatives, or whether that's through alternative forms of currency, or whether that's through community land trusts which establish affordable housing. These are the sorts of issues that I'm really interested in, and thinking through the different ways that participation and deliberation are can potentially elevate the way that the public is able to take control of certain issues. Now, much of this research, is really informed by the types of work that I did in the public sector, where I cut my teeth, and so I found that it's changed a lot of the way that I think, particularly because there's a different sort of responsibility in terms of project management when you're in the public sector, but the types of work that you can be involved in as well, working with people, building relationships, also align and intersect with research. And so I think that's super relevant to this course, especially because the types of relationships that you're establishing within a public sector are heavily related to the types of interests that you can find through qualitative interviews or through quantitative surveys. And these inform the way that policies are made, or the way that things are being implemented. And so I think that research really is an opportunity for yourself, or for anybody that's interested in having a sort of meaningful role in trying to understand the needs of residents and what they want, and potentially how it might have a meaningful impact by having those sorts of conversations in whatever research form that you do. One of the projects I think I'll raise with you is that I think is really relevant, is the Connecting to Parliament project that our center has been working on. And so I find that this project is really, really good in terms of both research and project management, which I think is important for this day and age, is having multiple skill sets that overlap. And so in this project, we bring together residents to have conversations with their member of parliament, and then the member of parliament takes those interests up at the legislative level. And so what I'm hoping to do within this course is have a really good conversation with you about what are the different sorts of ways and means of conducting research, how to translate those different forms of research into to different scenarios, and ultimately, hopefully, having a sort of impact on the way that you view the world. Thanks.